Speech number 4, Speaker Pat Moran. Whoops, he did it again. Whoops, he did it again. Pat Moran. Audio check and pin the timer.
Okay, audio check. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
And I'm gonna
Are you good to go?
Pin my timer.
Ready to go?
I'm trying to pin my timer, but it just says chat. Huh, whatever.
Let me know. Ready?
Ready.
Pat Moran. Whoops, he did it again. Whoops, he did it again. Pat Moran.
Hello, Toastmasters, guests, friends, people that have lucky lives. Does everyone here feel lucky?
Yeah.
Yes, I think we should. I feel very lucky, or as I prefer to say it, I am an excessively blessed person. And you ask why? Well, my story starts with a number of buddies I call my guardian angels. And without them, I don't think I've been able to get through life and get to this point at the age of 64 without them. So I've got 4 stories today, quick ones, that I want to share with you that relate to those guardian angels. All right. The first one is the angel of concussions. The second one is the angel of rolling Volkswagens. The third one is the angel of the river. And the last one is the angel of expensive video cameras. So at the age of 17, I walked out onto the football field for the first time as the quarterback. And about halfway through the first quarter, 2 huge defensive linemen, about 220 pounds, threw me down on the ground. My head whiplashed onto the field. My helmet broke into 14 different pieces. And I'm glad it was the helmet and it wasn't my skull. And my head went completely blank. My eyes rolled into the back of my head and I was pulled out of the game. That was concussion number 1 of 4 concussions throughout my life. I went into the locker room and people looked at me and said, "Where are we, Pat?" I said, "I think we're in Puerto Rico." No, I'm sorry. I think we're in Bangkok. No, I don't know where we're at. All right, Pat. Well, we're putting ice on your head and you're going to sit out for about a week. The angel of rolling Volkswagens. So about 2 years after that football game, I had healed from the concussion. A couple of my football friends and I went to a wedding. And when you go to a wedding reception, there's usually a large punch bowl there, right? The punch bowl had punch in it, but for us 19-year-olds, it didn't have any alcohol. So somehow I found the vodka bottle in the house of the wedding reception. I spiked the punch bowl and proceeded to finish about half of it off. My older friends helped me as well. I had a 1972 Volkswagen at that time, and we all piled into the Volkswagen after the reception and headed down this country road, gravel country road, having a great time. Pablo Cruz was on the radio. One of them said, "Pat, you know, there's a 90-degree turn up here." Oh, boom. The whip end backside of that little 72 Volkswagen Bug flipped over, rolled again, and boom, we landed on my left side. My friend in the front seat said, "Pat, I know you've been trying to sell this Volkswagen, but I don't want to buy it now." We got out of that situation without any serious bruises, any broken bones, a few scratches. The guardian angel that night was there. The angel of the river. So as Shauna said earlier, we all want to go above and beyond and reach for major accomplishments. Well, I had been a river rafter for many years and reached the level 9 certificate. I thought I knew how to raft the river. So a bunch of friends went out after springtime in Northern Oregon on the Deschutes River, and we got into a couple of rapids. It was a late fall off. The snow was coming into the river. It was cold water, and we didn't have rafts. We used these little inner tubes that were about 2.5 feet wide. We just about finished that day. My last run into the rapid, my feet went up, my head went straight down to the bottom of the creek, and boom, number 2 concussion. The angel brought me to the surface. I looked around and again, knew no one, had no idea who people were. And I went to a concert that night. I know that because I was working crowd management at the concert, and Jimmy Buffett was on stage with a broken leg. We got a chance to meet him that night. We went down to meet Jimmy, and he looked at me and said, "What's that bump on your head?" Number 4, the angel of expensive video cameras. Well, later in life with my family, my wife and 2 daughters, we flew out of town from Ventura, about 2,000 miles away, parked the car in the airport parking lot, and I left my $3,000 video camera on the ground. We took off and it was gone. Sure enough, about 2 years later, my guardian angel had a family in that area call me and my wife in Ventura. "Hey, we watched your video camera. We looked at your name and we found a phone number in Ventura. We're going to mail your video camera back." Guardian angels are a real part of your life, folks. My wife coined the phrase, "Oops, he did it again," because she's journaled, around 250 oops, my guardian angels are needed. My wife knows the guardian angels quite well. If you see her around town, she has a license plate around a frame that says, "Hey, don't drive any faster than your guardian angels can fly," because my wife knows them just as well as I do, perhaps more. But Toastmasters,